everybody.
I'm
This is
so grateful.
Hey, this is Harlan and
Hi guys.
and it's Kim. Kim is on the East Coast attending the Keto, the low carb conference, and on further than the West Coast, on the shores of Maui, we have the Queen of Keto, Maria Emmerich.
Aren't you sweet?
This is just outstanding. We are so honored to have you with us. Everybody knows and loves your recipes.
Thank you.
We're just excited to have you here. Maria, how many cookbooks? We were counting. How many cookbooks have you put out so far?
Well, I started writing when my husband lost his job and we didn't have anything. So I hung out at the library and my parents' shack way up in northern Wisconsin and wrote. I've combined some of them. So it's hard. I kind of lost count myself because, I took 3 and put them into one hardcover book. So I would say 11.
11 books. And the latest, or one of the latest, because you just pumped out 3 books? How did you do that? I don't even know how you do that. You're a mom with 2 kids, and you put out 3 books at one time, and you have a consulting business.
Well, I have a great husband that helps out a lot with the kiddos, and he right now has Lyme, so we've been kind of stuck at home, and so the kitchen became my happy place, and that's just, I don't know, I'm a Midwestern girl that I guess I thrive with work. I don't know, I just feel better when I have a project to work on.
So I'm going through the book, Easy Dairy-Free Ketogenic Recipes. Why the need for the dairy-free? Now, my sidekick over here, Kim, had to go dairy-free for a while. She wasn't happy with it, but then again, she didn't have your cookbook.
It needed to come out a few weeks earlier.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. It's going to be helpful to a lot of people.
I do have the 30-day ketogenic cleanse is also dairy-free, which I wish I would have made that clear for people. But why the... I'm a Wisconsin girl, so it's like blasphemy to say cut the
That's right.
out.
Dairy, it's the dairy state, right?
Exactly. But, in the ketogenic world, we poo-poo gluten. But, dairy is a more common allergen that we don't want to admit to. It's a very, very common allergen, especially to sons from Ethiopia, where dairy allergies is very common. It's hard because I do fine with dairy and I'm very grateful for that. But I do find that it holds people back. This is when people gain weight when they do keto. I would say 90% of people try keto for weight loss and they get really frustrated when they're not losing any weight. And if I tell them, let's cut the nuts out, let's cut the dairy out, both of which are constipating, which I hear, not to talk about that so much, but it's a big issue and you should be aware of, the stools tell a lot about your digestion. If you're not going number 2, you might want to cut back on the dairy and the nuts.
So a lot of people, including myself, who do Bulletproof and start our day with our grass-fed Kerrygold are now going into shock. Cut that out.
Well, I wrote about this in Keto, and I've been very open about how it depends on what your goals are for keto. If your goal is weight loss, you want to utilize your own body fat to make ketones. If you keep ingesting large amounts of fat, you don't have to go through that whole oxidative priority of utilizing your own body fat. You're going to use your dietary fat that you're consuming. And I was very heavy when I was a child and realizing that, in order to really tap into your fat stores, you want to use that body fat rather than consuming excess dietary fat.
Okay. So that's flying in the face of what a lot of popular keto is saying.
I've been doing this for 2 decades, and there's a lot of new keto so-called experts out there that don't understand that whole 80% fat to produce ketones. If you have a lot of body fat, you will use that to make ketones. You don't need to consume excessive amounts, because if you do that, you want to use fat as a lever. So it's all about, instead of focusing on percentages, you want to think about your own personal macros. And that's why we made a keto calculator that on my blog, it's just for free to help you find out what your macros are, not what somebody else's are.
I actually,
Maria, can you give the URL of your blog?
Yes, thank you. It's mariamindbodyhealth.com. And if you
Okay, could I ask one of you guys to type it in, Maria, on the comments? One of you type it in, please. mariamindbodyhealth.com, so everybody can see it.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that so much if you would do that. Tamara, I know you can do that. That would be great. And also, I want to say hi to Cindy, who's watching us from 35,000 feet in the air. Way to go, Cindy.
Cool.
Way to go, Cindy. I was going through this book, and I stopped at one recipe. And the recipe that I stopped at was chicken shawarma. And because, first of all, I'm a big shawarma person.
Awesome.
And chicken shawarma is like, to me, it's just an incredible thing. And then I'm looking at the recipe and I'm going, 1/8 of a teaspoon ground cinnamon. Where did that come from?
Just being inspired from other, is that a blasphemy thing? No?
No, I've had shawarma in different cities and whatever, and I never noted the taste of cinnamon. I'm going, wow, what an idea.
It's just a touch. I think that people get, they stop their ketogenic journey because food gets boring. And so learning about different spices, and, you always want to add an acid. You always want to make sure you're adding salt. Like all of these flavors, they become a flavor bomb. And so learning about different spices and acids to really amp up your cooking just makes everything taste delicious. And learning about different things that cause umami. And umami is that 6th sense on your tongue that's really indescribable. And that's why people think that fish sauce is so disgusting. But if you add like 1/8 of a teaspoon to your salad dressings or your recipe or your deviled eggs, people are like, wow, what is this? What is in your recipe? And you're like, fish sauce.
One of the things that I saw was unusual is the use of the wheat-free tamari, which some people shy from because of soy. And I assume you're using that because it's so fermented?
Absolutely. If you do have a soy allergy, you can use coconut aminos. However, coconut amino carbohydrates, there's a lot. So in a recipe, it would change it from maybe 2 grams of carbohydrates up to 10 plus.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow,
but on the bottle, it says, it shows minimal carbohydrates, but that's only for like 1/4 of a teaspoon. If you start adding that up and looking into the nutritional information, and I myself thrive with, being basically a carnivore with almost 0 carbohydrates. That really affected me a lot. And so that's why I kind of went back to that fermented organic tamari sauce, which, we go to a lot of sushi restaurants and get sashimi style sushi, and we'll make sure that it's a wheat-free tamari sauce. And as long as there's not a soy allergy going on and it's, a true fermented, there's some really good ones out there.
Now, I'm looking through this book and I'm just blown away. Not only are there recipes, but there's also extensive meal plan planning at the in the back. I see here there's meal planning, grocery lists, what to buy. What's when people come to you, this book is just so imaginative. You go through the entire 28-day meal plan. It doesn't look like you're even repeating meals. There are just so many things. You even have, like, if there are leftovers and so forth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there are a lot of choices here.
Thank you. I thrive on that. It's a lot. It takes a cookbook a whole nother level when you get, meal plans with specific macros in there to really help with, weight loss. A lot of people tell me I don't want to think about it. I just want to do it. Well, thank you, Harlan.
If you see the screen, folks, I am holding up easy dairy-free ketogenic recipes that just came out. And actually, for those of you who want to grab the cookbooks, I'm going to ask Maria about them in a moment. If you will go to Completely Keto, I'm going to put it up here.
Uh-oh, you cut out a little.
We're here.
We're here. Typing. I'm just typing.
You can't see me, but I'm going to say that Maria Emmerich's cookbooks are how I learned to cook keto. I read those things and I learned how to make the transition.
Thank you, Kim.
Tamara, if I could ask you to type that in, completelyketo.com/Maria. You'll find her cookbooks there. And I've gotten the message that the dairy-free cookbook is sold out on Amazon.
I know, I can't believe it. It's so crazy.
Well, we're going to sell out some. We're going to sell out some others. We're going to sell out some others tonight. Now you have a new book out that you and your husband are the co-author called Keto. Just Keto.
Yes.
Tell us about that book.
It's the science, and like I told you, there's a lot of new people putting stuff out there that just are holding people back. Like, if you're not losing weight, eat more fat, and it's like, well, we wanted you to understand the fat flux and how that happens and what's going on in your whole system. And my husband, with his science background, he's very good at explaining it in layman's terms without making you feel like an idiot, and we just wanted to educate everybody about what our hormones are happening when you consume X, Y, or Z, what's going on with your body when you actually consume fat, and why if you have a bulletproof coffee, you're no longer fasting. We wanted you to see the actual biochemical processes of what's going on with digestion, and how to maximize your goals. And there's a wonderful chapter on how to modify for specific diseases, whether it be, Crohn's or colitis or whatever it is, menopause, whatever you're dealing with. We wanted to make a chapter where you could go and modify what you want to accomplish and different supplements to help with certain conditions. So that was the aim at that book. And then at the end, we have a couple pages of some ideas on how to do this without cooking, because so many people don't like to cook anymore. So we kind of put our favorite go-to no-cook meal plans when we travel. Ouch, I think I sat in a nest of ants.
Oh.
Living on the beach here.
So does Kai like being in Hawaii, where I assume you named him for the Hawaiian Kai?
Yeah, that means ocean in Hawaiian, and yeah, we love it. We're usually snorkeling right out here. You can see some people are snorkeling now. They love it. We watch the whales. They're jumping all day long. It's just magical. We feel very, very blessed to be here. We heard it's like 27 below where we're from.
Oh, well, we're both in Florida right now, so we can't relate to 27 below.
Oh.
I want to talk to you about two of your other books, The Comfort Foods and The Restaurant Favorites.
Yes. So talking about going dairy free, that's if people want really fast results. But for me, my weight loss journey was very slow, and that's why those two books are very near and dear to my heart. I love special foods like comfort foods. It has like my favorite. I grew up on grilled cheese and tomato soup, so I did like a grown-up chapter of childhood favorites, like grilled cheese waffles with tomato bisque and bomber burgers and all those different types of fun kid favorites that we all grew up with. And then I worked at a lot of restaurants when I was a kid, ever since I was 15. And so a lot of the things I served to people were inspired by what I wrote in there. I worked at coffee shops all the time. So yeah, I love those two books. Thanks for bringing them up.
Well, let me ask you a question. There are a lot of people here who are typing in, I have one of her books, I have three of her books, I have four of her books.
I'm so grateful.
I'm sure that there are people here. First of all, it's because it's the new year. There are a lot of new people. What would you advise them on? What would be the very first book of yours to get if they're new to keto? Would it be,
this one? This one is a few years old, but it's still the best seller that I have. It is quick and easy ketogenic cooking. There is dairy in here. However, I always stock my books full of recipes. So that one has, almost 200. It has the meal plans you want in there. There's a lot of dairy-free options if you must go dairy-free. But that one is still a bestseller. People absolutely love that one. So it's a good one to start with. There's a lot of information in the beginning. So I guess that would be like the crowd favorite from what I see.
And what's been the reception on the comfort foods and the restaurant?
The comfort foods is the next runner-up. That's a huge hit. I think people want, especially this time of year, those comforting soups and stews and pizza and all of that type of stuff. So that one's doing awesome. The restaurant favorites, which is probably my favorite one, that one doesn't do so well, but I think it's just there's a lot of options. I want you to know there's no overlap. I don't overlap them legally. I can't because the publisher owns the rights to the recipes, so I have to change them all the time. So there's not overlap. They're totally different, but I guess I love Chinese food and all of that type of stuff. So that's why I love the restaurant favorites book. It's a favorite of mine.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'll put in a plug that, often we say, well, Chinese is really hard on keto. You can't really go out for Chinese unless you get like something really weird. So I would like to put in a plug that the recipes in restaurant favorites, there are a lot of Asian dishes in there and they're amazing.
Thank you so much. And, with that, Kim, most Asian dishes are dairy free. So if you are dairy free, that's a really good one to go to.
Right. I think so often people, when they hear they have to go dairy free, get really freaked out because they're like, but then what do I eat? And so I have to say, just getting inspired by the cookbooks, even if you don't exactly make all the recipes, it kind of makes you feel more relaxed.
Thank you, Kim. And that's the thing, like, I love the mouthfeel of dairy, that creaminess of like creamy sauces and stuff. And so I worked really hard at trying to make sauces that give you that creamy mouthfeel that, like a cheese sauce would, without you feeling like you're missing out at all.
So there's a question here from Marlette who wants to know, is there a place where she can purchase all of your books as a bundle or a mini bundle? What's on your site?
I don't legally own the books. I wish I did because I would totally do book bundle deals. Unless you catch me at a book signing, I do deals then for sure. But what happens is I buy the books and then I bring them. And if someone's like, I want all of them, I'll give them one for free for sure. But if it's Amazon, that's not, I don't own them. Costco sells some of them. Barnes and Noble does, but as a bundle, I don't know. I'm sorry.
So, Maria, what's on the horizon? You've got to be out there. I'm sure while you're on vacation, defrosting from the cold. You're thinking about your next book. What's
well, it is really exciting. The next one, well, I'm writing recipes for Dr. Rosedale, so that's exciting.
Oh, nice.
But next January 2019 will come the Keto Instant Pot / slow cooker.
Oh, wow. But people want to know, the people request Instant Pot recipes more than any other recipe.
I know.
That's fantastic.
I modified them so they have directions for both Instant Pot and slow cooker for you.
Okay. And you had already done a slow cooker book, so now you're bringing everything.
That was a self-published book, yes.
Okay.
And that one's still a hit.
Wow. So you're out, you're traveling. When's your next big appearance?
I guess I'm doing a ton of different book signings around. I mean, you name it, I'm going there, even big or small. And that's also on my website, mariamindbodyhealth.com. If you search events, there's a ton of events going on there. I will be at KetoCon. I was just invited to speak at the Low Carb Universe in Spain. That's in November. So, yeah, I feel very grateful to be asked and honored to be able to do such, it comes out of my own pocket traveling, but I really enjoy meeting everybody. And I'm just very grateful for everybody's support because you really changed our lives.
Well, you have touched the lives of probably not tens of thousands of people, but hundreds of thousands of people with your recipes circling the globe. And the one thing that is evident as we go through the book and we look at just the creativity, the fact that, number one, the recipes are so different, but at the same time, these are not hours in the kitchen book.
No, I don't have time to do that.
Pizza soup. Okay. So, folks, pizza soup, really, you have to check out this book. If it's sold out, if the dairy book is sold out, you can order it anyway, and Amazon will ship it to you when it comes in, because right now Amazon is probably yelling at Maria's publisher going, get us more books. Okay. Some people are typing in, saw you on the news here in New Orleans. When are you coming to Florida? You have changed. Barbara says you have changed our lives. Marlet says you are changing our lives. And folks, we've spoken to Maria. Kim has spoken to Maria. We are hoping to put together a keto cruise, and we're hoping to really make it possible for Maria and her family to join us. But my condition is going to be that I am going to be tougher on that kitchen than anyone in history of that line. It's going to be keto or it's not happening. I'm not going to have you guys. I'm not going to tolerate mistakes. I'm going to make sure that they are going to be willing to work with us, because
there's too much temptation on those cruises for people.
Right. So, I'm sure that we put this together. We will let you guys know when it's available. And we just love to have Maria for talks and cooking classes. And we're looking forward to that. It'll just be another opportunity to get Maria. It's a sacrifice that we make to get Maria out of the cold.
That sounds awesome.
Listen, folks, we're getting she has a brown butter coffee in one that's yummy.
The comfort food book, I think.
Okay. People, I love your mess. I'm reading the comments. I love your recipes. Love your cookbooks. So you're preaching to a bunch of loyal fans here. Once again, Maria's recipe is mariamindbody.com. You can actually. Yep. I'm sorry.
It's mariamindbodyhealth.com.
mariamindbodyhealth.com. And by the way, if you want to work with Maria, there are possibilities of working with Maria there. You can buy food plans and whatever. Check it out. CompletelyKeto.com/Maria are Maria's cookbooks. If dairy is sold out, comfort foods, restaurant foods, or the keto.
I need to hire you as my marketing manager.
or the book Keto that just came out with her husband. Go get these books. You won't be disappointed, folks. Maria, thank you for taking time out from your vacation.
I'm so grateful.
Go back to suffering. Yesterday, we had a mistake yesterday, and Maria was a day early, and she said, hey, I'm paddleboarding, whatever. So from paddleboarding and snorkeling, she took off time to be with us. Oh. Thank you. Thank you so much. Last comment here. Love your cookbooks. They're so great. Maria, Donna says, Maria, you have been such an inspiration to me.
Oh, that warms my heart. It really, really does. I'm my own shadow, and I feel that my life has changed, and you guys have, honestly, like, my boys, everybody, we're so grateful for everybody.
Well, thank you. This is Harlan and
Kim
saying goodbye, aloha, Maria, and everybody else on the East Coast. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Maria, for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.